Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
The show, if you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And now with me on the show is a man who's just returned from the Vatican. He's the MD of STC and also the Vice Chair of Akomea 2024. Nana Akomea. Nana, good body.
Morning.
How's the Pope?
It's good.
It's good. Okay. Did you also receive blessings?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you didn't go?
No.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You saw me there?
I thought you were there.
You saw me?
No, I thought as Vice Chair. You
But you didn't see me.
Yeah, in the pictures,
And
it
yet
was just.
it looked like somebody like me was in the pictures.
I assumed.
But
That
yet you were
you were
able
there.
to tell me that I've returned from the Vatican.
Also, with me on the show this morning is a member of Parliament for the North Tongue constituency, who's also the ranking member on Foreign Affairs in the Parliament of Ghana, the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Sammy, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Good. This week you've behaved, you've been of good behavior. And Nana is very happy with you.
We had to create space to listen to our iconic running mate.
Oh.
So that took center stage. But next week we will return with fresh expose.
So it was Prof's outdooring that made you stay off?
Yes.
Not Nana's admonition?
No, not at all.
Stay off.
Not at all.
Stay off is last week he brought
Bankra.
bankra, and this week normally he's always creating problems, so I try to track.
So this week was it?
This week I realized that he was quiet, so I was just applauding him for being a good boy, only for him to say that it was just to give Prof space.
Doc, are you sure I'm the one creating the problems? If they stop creating the problems, I will stop exposing the problems. I'm only carrying out my oversight duties in the national interest.
The Bankra thing that you said, have you spoken
problems.
to the ministry?
I filed my questions, so I'm waiting for the resumption of the House.
But have you found something else?
Oh, well, I've heard, these things, they're always two sides. They're always two sides, so...
But you notice that I have tremendous documents from the ministry itself. And I have my sources at the ministry. But I know you mean officially. So officially will be in Parliament. But every document on Bankra is in my possession.
But are you in a position to tell us if the ministry is going to, since the matter is in public domain? Yes.
Last week,
Yes.
after the
Program
discussion, I didn't know much about it, but Sami took us through his story
Yes.
and brought some documents. So I said, well, the ministry should react. And then he said he had 5 questions and all of that, which is all good. It's all towards accountable government. So there shouldn't be a problem if a member of parliament raises issues. And those issues are of public interest. They involve public monies. And so they will merit a response from the appropriate agency or ministry involved. So really, there's no problem with that. But after the program, the gentleman that Sami was speaking about, the company, the Ashanti
Port Services.
Yes. I got a call. And he said, oh, can we meet briefly?
Okay.
And that he's also, and his office is just around the corner.
Okay.
So I said, oh, why not? I mean, if really some major injustice is being done to you, why not? So from here, I drove there, met him at his office, and we talked. Incidentally, one of the parties supposed to be the consultant to the project, Vision Consult, I didn't even know. But STC is in some partnership with them in terms of the valuation business that we do. We have a partnership with them. They brought in modern equipment to facilitate the vehicle valuation business. So they are our partners. So they also reached out to me. And they also brought a lot of documentation. And their take totally contradicts the take that Sami.
What about the one you met first?
The one I met first basically said that all that Sami was saying was true.
Okay.
And then he brought so many documents. I said, oh, Sami brought those documents, so I'm aware of the. He basically said it was true. He realized I didn't know much about it, and because it was just around the corner, he thought he should speak to me as well. But then this other, the consultants, the Vision Consults, because we had this partner, and I didn't know they were the people who were the consultants.
They also reached out.
So they also reached out, and they also brought some documentation. But basically, I'm not their spokesperson. But basically, what they say is that the original company, which got a contract to develop the bankra, they couldn't fulfill the requirements, couldn't raise the monies that they were supposed to raise on time. They were given several extensions to raise the money. They couldn't raise the money. The money that came from Gapoha,
yes,
because now government was desperate that time was of essence, the people were not raising the money, so they asked Gapoha to buy shares. So as we speak, there are three shareholders now, Gapoha and the Shippers Council, and then the Ashanti Port Services. Shippers Authority, and the Ashanti Port Services. So the decision to give the money to the contractor, Just Mo, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Was something that they all agreed. And they showed me letters from
Africa.
Mr. Afum, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the name I was looking for. They showed me letters from Mr. Afum directing that the monies be paid to Just Mo and all of that. I mean, so there's a wide field of inquiry. So I advised them that this is a matter of public interest. Afum has his documentation. They showed me documents to show that Afum couldn't fulfill the financing requirements that he had signed on to. And they showed me extensions that were given to him that he could not raise any funding. And that's what led to the cancellation and all of that. I said, look, I'm just interested in getting the truth out and getting the project on the ground. So if I advise them what to do, maybe they can also tell their side of the story. And they said they will consider it. But like I'm saying, there's a wide field of inquiry. And what I'll do is I'll let them... And in fact, I was also speaking to Afum.
Okay.
When after I spoke, I said, but this thing that you told me, these people too have come. They said so. So I was trying to interrogate the two sides. But
did he have responses for you?
They just repeated what they had said.
Okay.
But like I said, because the other side also brought documents, including the contract, the terms of the contract, the violation in terms of bringing the money, the extensions that were given, and all of that. So we have to interrogate it further.
Right. Yes.
I'm glad that Nana Akomea has met parties in the bankra project. It's also good that he's listened to all sides. And I have documents from all sides. This claim that Ashanti Port could not raise funding is one of the matters that we will be pursuing, because I have documents from Afri-Exim Bank, and I haven't put this out yet. There are tons of documents. The documents I've put out so far, honestly, is just about 10% of the documents I have. All of these documents here, bankra, Now, you see...
Are you building a paper pot in your house?
You see... Yeah, I actually need to open a whole garage for documents. You will see from these documents, Afri-Exim Bank agreeing to fund this project for $300 million. They sent emails, I have the emails here, to Mr. Afum, GPHA, requesting confirmation. They had 7 questions that had to be answered, and then they'll release the funds. Mr. Fum and the Ashanti Port Services Limited were sabotaged. Afri-Exim didn't receive any response. From government, you will say, GPHA and the ministry. And it's all here. Those who were copied in these emails, one dated October 16, 2023, another one December 27, 2023, from Afri-Exim, asking that, look, we have had a meeting with GPHA. As agreed, we said you have to answer these 7 questions, and then we will release the $300 million to you to fund the project. Why did government not respond up to now? All the emails I've intercepted, not a single response. Mm-hmm. So it's one of the matters we will be probing. So this claim that Ashanti Port could not raise funds, I am not convinced about that claim. Now, I'm also glad that you are meeting Vision Consult. Mm. I also have documents from Vision Consult.
You met them?
I have documents from them. I don't need to.
He intercepted them.
I don't need to meet them.
No.
Now, Vision Consult will also have to be explaining to us. You remember last week, I said there were independent valuations that confirmed that the work they had done there was $4 million. However, government is paying over $36 million. Now, I have intercepted this document from Vision, dated 21st July 2023, trying to justify why the cost of the project moved from $4 million to $36 million. It says here, notice of variation of initial investment of built project. That is the bankra inland port and logistics terminal, and investigations into interim payment certificates submitted by the independent consultant. So there are questions for the consultant.
Is there some document that pegged the cost at $4 million?
Yes.
What is it?
The initial agreement and quantities.
I'm sure this letter will even speak to it.
Yes.
This letter will refer to it.
Yes.
If it's talking about variation, then we'll refer to the original.
So varying from $4 million to $36 million, they should have virtually started afresh. I mean, variation at this percentage. Then don't forget that the fundamental issue of how Jasmine came into this whole affair, the lack of respect for our procurement laws, and how the minister himself concedes that they are now going to take steps to regularize the engagement of Jasmine. So Vision telling you that, we all agreed, we had a meeting, and we said we are going to bring in Jasmine. There are laws in this country. How do you bring in a company to execute a project? You are paying them with public funds. What do our laws say? The procurement law is clear. You don't engage any contractor. You don't pay that contractor in excess of $36 million. And indeed, I have received calls since last week that more payments have been made to Jasmine, that the $36 million I'm quoting is far less. But because I haven't seen those documents, I'm sticking to the $36 million. I have told those great patriots who have called me that bring me the documents. I speak to facts. I speak to documents. So what I have so far is $36 million. But if they say they have paid more, I'm hearing figures virtually approaching $70 million. I would like to see those additional documents. So Jasmine could not have just been called and is being paid all of these monies without recourse to our procurement laws. There ought to have been a tender process. Even if you want to single source, do that. Go through the procurement process. That is our law. You don't just pick a phone and call a contractor, hey, we have all agreed, come and execute this project.
Who brought Jasmine?
And they are paying him.
Who brought him?
Handpicked by the minister.
But they also claimed that Jasmine was handpicked by the concessionaire.
From the documents I have here.
You have a document but from the ministry appointing The contractor just more.
So they just called him to come in, and he's receiving these monies.
They didn't give him an appointment.
But you see the letters I read last week, you recall, and I have copies here. Jasmo was even protesting when GPHA was proceeding to pay Jasmo.
But even I have a fundamental...
You saw Ashanti Port protesting.
I even have a fundamental problem. Now, assuming that Ashanti Port even handpicked, if they even
the contractor,
Jasmo, Gapoha and the ministry representing the state should have ensured that the right thing was done before parting with money.
Exactly. You know,
now,
so
I asked them, why did they pay the contractor? Said because the concessionaire, which is Ashanti Post, couldn't raise any money.
Yeah, but the appointment of the contractor, was it in line with the law,
with the procurement law?
Well, the concessionaire was given the work to develop the port. It's a huge project. I don't know if the contractor he brings has to go through a certain procedure. But if he has to go through a certain procedure and the procedure wasn't followed, why not? But both sides are claiming that Jasmo was brought by the concessionaire. And they showed me letters to that.
Where is that both sides? Which sides are you talking about?
Vision Consult is claiming that Jasmo was brought by the concessionaire.
And what did
and then Jasmo, the concessionaire is claiming that Jasmo was brought by the ministry. So, like I'm saying, we have to interrogate it. I mean, I'm not anybody's spokesperson.
So, if you're thinking
you have the Ashanti Port letter cautioning GPHA not to make payments to Jasmo.
Yeah, because they said, look, the GPHA money was supposed to buy shares.
Yes.
In the Ashanti Port service. Yes. So
they issued the share certificate.
So the money should be ordinarily received by the shareholders and put into their accounts.
Yes.
There was a fear that because he hadn't brought any monies and they've given him extensions, and they were afraid that if they gave him the monies would not be spent on the project. But so there has to be a shareholders meeting to agree that the money should go to the contractor. But I'm saying everybody should come with their document, and then we can interrogate the matter.
All right. Okay. So if you're thinking of
which one is this?
That's the Ashanti Port protest about the payment to Jasmo.
Straight to Jasmo.
Okay. So if you're looking for a toothpaste, that I read a report that government is to change the brown and yellow uniforms of public schools, and also change the paintings of the colors of public school buildings. And we're told that according to the Education Minister, Dr. Duchum, this is part of many transformational initiatives to revive basic education and make it attractive in the country. It says we are changing the uniforms of public basic schools in the country. The yellow and brown that you see now, you will see no more. Reformation is coming to a community near you, and you will see it. It says he also hinted at a change in color of outlook of basic schools in the country. He said we are switching to blue and white. We are painting all the schools to give it an attractive outlook. This is the transformation Ghana deserves, and it is coming. End of quote. So, somebody and his group who have been speaking a lot about basic education in Ghana, as Kofi Asari and EduWatch, they also have collaborators in the CSO space as far as education is concerned, and they've been speaking about basic education for quite a long time. They've done a lot of research. They've told us what the problems are and all that. I want to find out from him how this helps with the transformation of basic public education in Ghana. Good morning, Kofi. All right. Okay. I'm told that we don't have Kofi now, so when we get him, we'll bring him back on air. So let's talk about Sammy. That's why the reason why you went quiet this week. The official outdooring of Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. People tend to confuse it. Is it Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman or Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman?
Yes, so per her official documents, she is Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
Okay.
However, as a lecturer,
Yes.
young lecturer all the way to she rising to become vice chancellor, her students and colleagues
Yes.
affectionately called her Nana Jane. So Nana Jane is her nickname on UCC campus. All those who were on
Nana
UCC
Jane,
campus,
Nana Jane. Okay.
Yes, and so that is like,
But official name is Jane.
It's Jane Nana per
Opoku-Agyeman.
her, yes.
Okay.
Official records
Okay.
is Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
Okay.
But let me salute the state. Must be held accountable. This is not a threat. It is a promise. Premise on the wishes of our citizens across the various political and social divides and hinge on the principle of accountability. Oh, God bless Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. God bless John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
Look, Doc, the plundering going on, the naked thievery. You remember the Cocoa Board audit? 87,
which one?
87%, the latest Cocoa Board audit, the Auditor General's audit report on Cocoa Board. 87% of all contracts there, single source. And the Auditor General is saying that when they compared the 87% of single source contracts with the 13% that were competitive, it was three times the value. Meaning that if we got 100 kilometers of roads, we could have got 300 kilometers. And those who came to the party to Bamba, cronies of this government, including the vice president's brother, 87%. No value for money. Naked procurement breaches, an abuse of the single source procurement method. I can't wait for this promise to be fulfilled. National Cathedral, $58.1 million. And I like how she her literary prowess are just amazing. She says anytime she sees that image, who will believe that that is a place for God all-knowing? $58.1 million. And all those who destroyed those edifices that were there at that location, Malian ambassador's residence, judges' bungalows, the Judicial Training Institute, Scholarship Secretariat, Comsys IT firm, Waterstone Realty Apartment Complex, Shraj bungalows, Passport Office. People think they won't answer for this? Oh, I can't wait.
Right.
I can't wait for that coming. I can't wait. Bankra, what we were discussing earlier. I mean, the impunity. People think this country belongs to them. That there will be no judgment day. There will be no day of reckoning. Oh, I just can't wait. That is my favorite paragraph. And it gives me hope that, look, all the work we are doing, the sleepless nights, risking our lives, intercepting documents. I am so excited that Professor Nana says our work will not be in vain. Look, she's motivated me to do more. And next week, I'm going to unravel more documents.
All right.
And put out more of the rot.
So Nana, you've been sighing, you've been laughing, you've been giggling, you've been smiling.
He's totally restless, You can tell that he is dazed.
What explains your mood?
Randy,
Yes, sir.
when you were reviewing the papers,
Yes.
you had a headline about the NDC communication officer doing some outreach for his communicators.
Yes.
Sammy Jemfi.
Yes.
Yeah, Samuel Kujeto said.
Ahead of 2024
Yeah,
elections,
yeah.
Sammy Jemfi equips parties' communicators.
Has he paid the judgment, the debt?
Who?
Sammy Jemfi.
Which debt?
There's a court judgment he has to go and pay Napo, the Minister for Energy.
I don't know.
Really?
No, there's a defamation suit.
Really? I'm hearing this for the first time.
I don't
It's
know.
all over. Anyway, I thought he would be looking for money to pay the debt.
Is that why you were laughing?
Now, the reason why I'm laughing
Yes.
is that I agree at the inauguration of the outdooring of Mrs. Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the NDC running mate. There was a lot of poetry. That one. I was struck by the poetry. But I understand that is her field, isn't it? So it was okay. But we are being told this morning that she held the nation spellbound. She charmed the country. I was seeing, where was the charm? What did she say that is so striking that we have never heard before that should hold us spellbound? What did she say? Beyond the poetry and the fine words, she is a professor. Is it of literature? Is it of literature?
Yeah.
So I can imagine there will be a lot of fine words. But beyond those fine words, we have been told she had a spellbound. By what? What did she say that is new, that is striking, that we haven't thought of before? That is going to give us food for thoughts. What did she say? What did she say that charmed the country? What new vision did she? We are being told that by her nomination. Now, mind you, she's not a new quantity. This is the second time she's been nominated or she's been chosen to be a running mate. So she's not a new quantity. But we are being told that now women have finally received what they deserve. The Ghanaian woman has finally received. Finally? The woman was chosen in 2020. Or? She was chosen in 2020. It's not today. So coming to tell us that the Ghanaian woman has finally received what they deserve. Please. She was chosen in 2020. It's not new. It's not a new thing that any Ghanaian woman should be excited about. And in any case, she's not the first female running mate. She's not the first.
Maybe the two major parties.
Of the two major parties.
But this business about Ghanaian women, finally, she's not the first. We've had women presidential candidates in this country. Nana Akufo-Addo was the presidential candidate. Why are you? Why? Come on. Why are you?
No, I'm looking at the monitor.
Suddenly.
What?
Nana. Look at your boss. Look at him. Let me repeat it for you there. Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings was a presidential candidate.
That's true. It's a fact.
Kwesi Ndom's party, they had this young lady, Miss Judgêmênt,
yes,
as a running mate. In fact, she even became the presidential candidate.
Judgêmênt.
Yes. She even became the presidential candidate. So this business of beating us that this is a woman that have finally got is not true.
But the reality is that the two major parties.
For the two major political
This is
parties.
the first time.
This is the first time. That's
So
what-
the other parties, they don't matter.
major political parties.
The other women, because they come from other parties, they don't matter. They do.
Nana.
Let me just go on. Hold on. Now, we have been told
And propaganda.
that she's internationally being sought after.
Absolutely. The facts speak for itself.
But she was internationally being sought after in 2020, wasn't she? She was, obviously. So, coming to tell us that she's somebody that the international community is looking for, so what? What has that got to do with anything?
Oh, really?
What has that got to do with anything? No. And then they said, she said that Sami Okujeto says what impresses him about the whole poetry was that she said she and John Mahama have agreed to prosecute wrongdoing and corruption.
Okay, you're summarizing it.
This. I'm just.
Yeah,
this was
paraphrasing,
Sami. No, you said she. Can you read it again? That's exactly what she. I was writing
I was
it
going
down.
to ask him to read
You
it
want to
again.
have a read? Yeah, that's it. The last.
John and I have agreed
Yes.
that whoever has
I
participated
love
in
the
plunder
pitch of your voice.
Yes.
must be held accountable.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, I thought you were going to read the whole thing.
The whole speech?
No, that
the
paragraph. You
paragraph.
can complete the paragraph.
No, but the part I'm interested in is, John and I have agreed, whoever has participated in plunder must be held accountable.
Yeah.
This is not a threat, it's a promise. Premise on the wish of our citizens.
Yeah.
And Samuel Kujeto said, this is what impressed him most, this one.
Yes.
Is this on the basis of his own?
So,
works?
the great charm,
Yeah.
the way she held the nation spellbound, is all, as far as Samuel Kujeto is all because she says she will prosecute wrongdoing. This is what we are being offered. Now, Randy, what should we all have to ask ourselves that? Is this something that anybody should take notice of? That an incoming government, you need to go and sit with your presidential candidate to take a decision to prosecute crime? Do you need to go and take a decision? It's a natural course. It's a natural course.
Probably our history, maybe our history and the recent history does not make it a natural course.
Let me show you our recent history.
Okay.
In 2012, in 2009, when the NDC came to office, they had press conferences. The lead presenters of those press conferences were pointing their fingers into the camera about how they will prosecute wrongdoing. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people became attorney generals.
Like who? Like who?
I'm saying some of those people at their press conference, they became attorney generals. So they were faced with the power now to prosecute. What happened?
Who are you referring
You forget about the personalities if you don't remember. But I'm saying, what happened to that promise? What happened to that premise? How dare they? We will deal with them. Look, last week, somebody was jailed. She has run away from justice, to the embarrassment of everybody, that to all of us public officials, because we believe that we serve with integrity. She runs away from the country for months. Finally, she's jailed. I thought Jane Nana Pukwajima, if she's going to talk about this, we'll mention this.
Why am I she?
Yeah, because she's talking about dealing with corruption. And so she will mention that this is significant. Telling us that you've gone and taken it. Let me see how she puts it. John and I have agreed. Do you need to go and have an agreement about fighting corruption?
Yeah, why not?
Do you need? I'm saying in 2009, you told us the same thing. You couldn't prosecute one person. One person. You remove stop international flights because you said somebody was on the flight. He was a subject of interest. Stop international flights. Remove families from international flights. You said somebody had imported rice. You didn't understand it. It was all kinds of foco, zilch, just noise.
Judgment Day is coming.
That is your record. That is your record. At least in the NPP, there are people being prosecuted successfully. Including last week. Last week, the Maslock thing. People are being prosecuted successfully. But I'm saying that the fight against crime and corruption, especially, it should be automatic. It is not now that you are going to take an agreement.
But it is not.
But I'm saying they said the same thing to us in 2009. The same thing. If it was. More people, more threatening than this. You don't shout about it. You have to do it. The NPP is doing it.
Selectively. Doing it selectively.
But at least we are doing it.
They don't see their own corruption.
Yeah, but at least we are doing it. You agree. One of your colleagues was jailed. She's absconded as we speak. She's still out. We are going to now have Interpol go and track her. And after a 4 or 5 year trial.
The lawyers don't agree with your assertion.
Which one?
That she absconded.
So why is she not back to face justice?
Because
Was
she's
she not
giving,
gr- was she not
giving
granted?
medical reasons why she needs an extension of time. The only thing is that the court disagrees with her, with her position. But for the times that the case has been called, first of all, she went out with the permission of the court.
Yeah. And when did she say she was coming back?
Subsequent dates, her lawyers have presented medical documents to show why
She's still sick.
she's still, yes. But yes, the court also has taken a decision that it disagrees and has gone ahead to try her in absentia. And
It's
and
been
take
4
a
years,
decision.
isn't it?
I don't know.
About 4 years. She's been sick for 4 years. But I'm saying that at least a successful prosecution has been mounted. My worry is, this is what Samuel Kujeto says moves him. That they have agreed. They have agreed that whoever has been involved in the plunder must be accountable. And this is what Samuel Kujeto says is so novel, so new, so charming, so spellbounding. In his own words, this is the part that freaks him.
Absolutely.
An agreement that they will prosecute corruption. Now, Randy, you said, are you not embarrassed by this?
Why?
That
I'm excited about it.
they've gone to agree. You mean they have to go and agree
I'm excited about it.
about what the agreement?
Yes, about the fact that people must answer.
Yeah.
But you know that people must answer. You know, you and I know.
No, people must answer. My point is that even today,
Yes.
people must answer.
Absolutely.
So if, for example, as we speak today, Fourth Estate, the SML thing they did, the president referred the matter to KPMG. Then, a few weeks ago, some civil society persons and media told us all that, look, KPMG has presented a report to the president. There is some silence on it. Then we had a release from the presidency.
So your point is that people must answer even today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
No, when you say that, I make those statements when you say that it's like a natural course.
Yeah.
It's something that must happen naturally.
Because it's not
I'm
happening.
just saying that
Yeah.
I don't disagree that is what ought to be.
Yes.
But it is not. And that is why...
But last week there was a prosecution.
Nana,
No, last week there was prosecution.
Nana,
Yeah.
the point I'm making to you is that it is not about tokenism. That's the point I'm making to you.
And where is the token?
Because I am saying that I was giving you this SML thing. So the report is presented to the president. It takes people in civil society and media to tell us that the report
Yeah,
has
so
been
in your
presented.
view,
Then we get a statement.
in your
from-
view, the
Yes.
fight against plunder must be now.
Yes.
I agree. I don't have a problem. But I'm saying that this momentous announcement, as if it's some new thing that they have to go and deliberate about it and come and tell us about it, that we have gone and agreed. For me, that's my worry. This one is so basic. And Samuel Kujeto says that this is what freaks him most.
but Nana, when
that the pledge that they will fight
When a basic thing,
against corruption.
when a basic thing has been made rocket science,
Yeah.
it ceases to be basic.
Where's the rocket science?
What ought to be basic? So, a president, there is a media disclosure. There's a public discussion on the issue. The president asks an audit firm to audit. The audit report
what is the point?
The
Your point
audit
is
report is presented to the president.
Why is the president refusing to publish the
Publish
report?
the report.
Publish the report.
And let everybody see.
You and
If
I,
you have nothing to hide, publish the report.
we are not. If you want us to talk about the report, we can talk about it. I'm saying that this momentous announcement that we have gone and sat down and agreed that we will fight
Corruption.
We'll hold people accountable.
Yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
you have to go and sit down with your flag bearer to agree. This one. Okay. And we are being told that this is the freakiest part of it. The agreement with John Mahama that they will fight corruption. I'm saying that, and you talked about history. I'm saying that if you look at the history, in 2009, they made even louder commitments to fight corruption. When they came, what did they do? In the 8 years, what did they do? Which successful prosecution could they mount between 2009 and 2016? I am passionate, and you are passionate, that we sanitize our public space. It's something that should be the passion of every politician with good thinking about this country. And when you tell me that even this one, you have to go and sit down and have an agreement. Now, we were told that, she said, the purpose of the election, I'm still quoting her good friend, Samuel Kujato.
Her son.
Her son, adopted son. That we have been told by him
proudly so.
that she says that the election is about holding the country together. Why is the country split? Is Ghana as we know it, is it split?
You can't see the disrespect of other people. Did you see what your president did to the chiefs in the OT region?
1 second.
Did you see? And that is not the first time. Did you hear the president when he came to my constituency?
Is it possible you can let me? You
No,
spoke,
but you are asking us a question.
I'm speaking to Randy. You spoke.
Why? I'm also here. I'm on the panel. You will hear me, Nana. You will hear me.
Randy.
Did you hear what the president told the people of...
If you let me speak, say so I can just say. Randy.
Doc, you have the video, the Kumfi video, what the president told the chiefs.
Yes,
because they didn't vote for it.
Let her finish.
Those are the things the good professor is talking about.
Chief, he says to hold the country together.
Yes, we'll heal the country.
Holding something together means the thing is coming apart.
Absolutely.
Is Ghana coming apart?
Yes, because of the conduct of your leaders. Yes, on a daily basis.
She says, according to good son Samuel Kujato, she will fight greed, and she will pull the country back from the precipice.
Yeah.
Which precipice? Which precipice? Is Ghana about to fall into some hellhole?
I thought you will have qualified the greed. If you are quoting the professor, quote her properly.
He says
incomprehensible
Ghana
greed.
will function again.
That's how she put it.
This country is not functioning.
What is working in this country? What have you been able to do properly? Mention one thing. Nana, mention one.
He says people will regain their independence of thought. Why Ghanaians cannot think independently?
You know what's happening to headmasters, headmistresses when they criticize?
And I got this. She says she's going to bring shared prosperity.
Absolutely. Yes. Great vision. Great vision.
And that elections about citizens not being intimidated.
Yeah.
And citizens will be respected.
Yeah.
These are the things
that's the Ghana we want.
We are being offered.
That's the Ghana we
want.
want.
And this is what we are being told has held the country spellbound and charmed the country. This poetry.
I wouldn't want to see the chief of Institute being
being asked to just get them
with their left hand.
No, Randy.
Left hand.
Randy
disrespect.
Randy Abe, don't be taken in by the propaganda.
Which one?
What propaganda?
This propaganda.
You haven't seen the video. You haven't seen the video.
I saw it.
It happened.
Listen for 2 seconds.
You haven't heard the chiefs of OT.
Okay.
Then I'm listening to you.
Listen for 2 seconds. You say the president did something that you thought wasn't right.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, despicable. Despicable.
Is it right?
Will he do that to his chief?
Yeah, is it right?
Will he do that to the chief?
The optics didn't look good. But the fact that the president has done something that you didn't think was right means that the country is not together.
Yeah, because there's been a consistent pattern.
Does
Across most village victims. The president looked at
Nana, when it's not, Nana, will you agree that if it's not a one-off?
Yeah.
If it's not a one-off, then it becomes a worry.
Yes.
Yeah, but does it mean that the country is not together?
Yes.
That's my
leadership is not holding the country together.
Can I? But you said so many fine poetry. I'm just making a little comment. You let me.
Yeah, because
why?
Because you're just muddying the waters.
Oh.
I mean,
and then he said that I was jittery.
Yeah.
Me, I was jittery.
Yeah.
I was laughing. And because as I kept listening to him, I was waiting for the profound thing that came out of the speech that would strike me that, yes, this is something that we've been looking for. And the profound...
And you will admit that. You ever admit that...
in your adult life, have you ever been struck by...
From anything coming from the NDC?
No. Grandi Abi, I've sat on this program and said good things about even Samuel Kujeto, what he's doing.
Which I asked you.
Which you will qualify.
No, he's asking me if I've said anything good about him. Even you yourself, I've said good things about it. I've praised your work. I have cautioned you where the work is.
You've qualified the praise.
Yes, but
there was no need for that qualification. I'm sure. Yes,
it qualifies the praise.
Yes. I'm sure if I was an NPP MP, you would not have added those qualifications.
So
he will eulogize you.
Exactly.
So
unreservedly.
I'm looking for this new vision.
Yes.
Have you read a 33-page speech?
But you literally read it. That is going to give us...
I read less than 2 pages.
That charmed the country. That it holds the country spellbound. And then all we have been told is that she says the elections are...
Did you listen to the good professor?
She says
you clearly haven't read.
You have to beg him.
Sorry, please allow.
No, because I don't know where Nana is headed to.
So now we have been told that what has held the nation spellbound and charmed the country and brought international recognition. And all of it's because she says the elections are about holding the country together.
Why are you doing this to yourself, Nana? Why are you doing this? You take propaganda to embarrassing levels, Nana.
And the elections are about checking greed. And the elections are about pulling back from the precipice. And the elections are about making Ghana function again. And the elections are about making Ghanaians gain independent thoughts. So all of us, our thoughts are not independent. It's Jane Nana Pukwajima who's going to bring independent thinking to us. And that is about shared prosperity. Citizens will not be intimidated. They will be respected. These are the things that she said that have charmed the country. Hey, then you have work to do. Samuel Kujeto, you have work to do. Now, he said that Samuel Kujeto talked about Cocoa Board and said there was some 87% of contracts have been sole sourced, and that has been shown to be 3 times the amount, whatever. It's an audit report. You see, there's a committee in Parliament called the Public Accounts Committee. That committee is chaired by the minority. The reason why they made that committee to be chaired by the majority and the minority have a majority on that committee, it's so that they can pursue accountability. That's why they made you the minority. The standing orders of Parliament made that committee to be chaired by the minority, and the minority to have a majority on that committee. So, if you believe that something untoward has gone on at Cocoa Board, you don't need Jane Nana Pukwajima for the agreement she had with John Mahama to come into effect.
What can the committee do?
At least let them start dealing with it.
No, they will bring the people there.
Yes.
They will ask them questions.
Yes.
They will talk. They will make recommendations.
Yes.
Then what else?
Yes. But at least all of us will then see where the truth lies. I mean, the first thing in achieving accountability is to bring the parties and interrogate them, isn't it? So let us see these things. Then we know that you are serious about fighting corruption, as you say. Because I remember 2009, when the last time NDC was in office. And the things they said they were going to do about corruption. And I'm going to look for those videos and send them to you.
Okay.
And they came and spent 8 years. They couldn't successfully prosecute one person. One. Or were you? And then they come here again to tell us that they've now taken a decision. And we have been told that the merely because there's a meeting to decide, it means that. So, my summary is that congratulations to the professor. We saw her in the 2020 elections. As far as I'm concerned, there was no impact of her running mate in the 2020 elections. If there's any impact, maybe Samuel Kujeto can tell us. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't see any impact. Even her home region of the central region, she couldn't deliver the votes to John Mahama.
I thought they moved their parliamentary seats from 4 to 14.
I'm saying she couldn't deliver the votes to John Mahama. Could she?
You mean as in the presidential vote?
Yeah.
Oh, no. They didn't win.
She's on the presidential ticket. So I'm saying I didn't see any impact. But, I'm a fair-minded man. Maybe this time we may see some impact.
Okay.
But if we are going to go by what has happened, there's not much to go on.
All right.
And then I'm fortified in my view that when we're told that she said something that has charmed the country and held us spellbound, I was ready to listen.
You were not charmed.
I was not, but were you charmed? The things that we have been told that she's taking a decision with John to fight corruption, and that she said the purpose of the election is to hold the country together and check greed and pull Ghana back from the precipice, and so Ghana can function again. These are the things that charm people.
Okay. All right. We need to take a break.
Okay, all right, then when we come back.
Well, you want to respond?
Yes, I have a number of responses.
We'll actually Ablakwa. What does wealth mean to you? You want to live like a tycoon? Remember, as God and Mola got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Gamepad Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gamepadgames.com or by dialing star 946 on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, we could play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Gamepad Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, that could somebody down be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control of every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 0000. All right. Okay. So we'll wrap up on the outdooring of Professor Nanaji and Opoku Ajiman. But I earlier on told you that the Education Minister, Dr. Elsa Duchuma, hinted of plans to change the brown and yellow uniforms worn by pupils of basic schools in the country. And according to the minister, this is part of many transformational initiatives to revive basic education and make it attractive in the country. Quote, we are changing the uniforms of public basic schools in the country. The yellow and brown that you see now, you will see no more. Reformation is coming to a community near you and you will see it. he also hinted at a change in the color of the outlook of basic schools in the country. Quote, "We are switching to blue and white. We are painting all the schools to give it an attractive outlook. This is the transformation Ghana deserves, and it is coming." End of quote. Kofi Asare is the executive director of Africa EduWatch, and he operates in the educational space in civil society, and he's done extensive work together with other CSOs on basic education, especially, and they've churned out a lot of research findings on this particular issue. I want to pick his views on this one. Good morning, Kofi.
Hello, good morning, Doc. Morning, and good morning to your audience.
All right. Okay. I'm sure that you've heard, you've watched, you've read the minister, and of course you've been following the discussion about this issue. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's always good. I mean, positive change is always good. If we want to periodically change our uniform to school for good reasons, that's fine. I mean, even as human beings, we don't wear the same thing, the same color, the same dress, the same uniform every day. We've seen the police, for instance, at a point introduce new uniforms, and all that. So yes, I mean, it's not too strange to change uniforms. A question we want to ask is, what is informing the change? What is wrong with the cream and brown? And what benefit does the new? I hear is black and white. What benefit does the black and white, bring that the cream and the brown, didn't bring? I think that's a question we must ask. On top of my head, I know that something white is a bit quite difficult to maintain, especially for children. And so it means that if I had only one cream and one brown, which hardly gets dirty as easy as the white, it meant that I could have one uniform and manage it for the whole week. And I'm talking for poor children in rural communities or urban poor. But then if it's white, and we know white gets dirty easily, it means that I probably would need more than one or two to go through the week to appear in school tidy. And so we need to hear the debate about what is informing the switch to white, and not any other color. Also, we are also aware that there is a group of Ghanaians who are unable to even afford uniforms. They go to school without uniforms and they are poor. I'm happy anytime the GNS changes school uniform, they don't make it compulsory, such that it shouldn't be a barrier for enrollment or retention. It won't be a strict requirement until you're able to afford. But the question is that, having worked in the community for about a decade, I know that one of the factors that does not make the school environment interesting for pupils, why some pupils will not like to go to school, is because their colleagues have uniforms and they don't have uniforms. It is a factor. So anytime you change uniform, it means that poor families, especially those living in the lower income quintiles, will have to find money, to make their children happy to go to school. What is the strategy by government to ensure that uniforms are available to such families who genuinely cannot afford uniforms, especially in a country where we are providing free uniforms for senior high school students, whether rich or poor? So for me, those safeguards are also an important question to ask. But largely, I don't see anything wrong with changing uniforms, but there must be a justification for the switch in color. I've heard some debate that the new uniforms helps, develop children to develop interest in school and all that. I'm not too sure how a new uniform will let someone develop interest in school, because we switched to a new junior high school uniform, I think, in 2019, 2020. 3 years down the line, I'm not seeing one of the one of the reasons we are due for changing the junior high school uniform is that we wanted the junior high school to look different from the primary school and make it more attractive. So we changed it. But if you look at our primary 6 to junior high school 1 transition data, we have actually not demonstrated that impact in that area. We were doing about 94% primary 6 to junior high school 1 transition in 2016-17, and by 2021, we had reduced to about 92. So I'm not too sure how introducing new uniforms makes the school, more interesting. But I think that it's more an issue of that there must be other reasons than just making the school interesting. That's my take on the school uniform.
Now, Kofi, what about the paintings of the buildings? We all know that the schools are painted just like the uniforms. There's the darker brown, and then there's the lighter one at the top. We're told that now by the minister that now they're going to change all that to blue and white. I mean, apart from the issue of cost and all that, but I mean, we're going to paint all basic schools in the country. We're going to change the color from blue from the current brown and cream, if you want to call it that way, to blue and white.
Again, painting is a big issue. I mean, the average basic school perhaps gets painted once in 10 years or so. So painting is a big issue. But you see, I want to situate paint. So any effort to paint basic schools should be very welcome, because painting is a big issue. Schools normally get painted when they're able to get donations from benevolent individuals or corporates. That's the reality. There's no budget for that. So any time an initiative like this is announced, obviously everybody should be happy that we have an opportunity to paint our school that perhaps hasn't seen paint for about 10 years or more. But you see, let's look at a bigger picture. We are running a system, okay? Painting is a maintenance issue in our schools. The schools must be painted regularly, we all admit. The schools themselves are owned by the district assemblies because they are the ones mandated to build schools, provide infrastructure, basic schools per the education law. But the reality is that the schools have no maintenance budgets. The capitation grant, which is the only fund that gets to the school, supposed to be used for maintenance, is always in arrears. And even if available, it is scarcely adequate, because the grant at 10 Ghana cedis, since it was increasing to 10 Ghana cedis in 2018, has reduced in value by about 180%, discounted for inflation over the period. But it doesn't even arrive, at the right time. It's always in arrears. So there's no maintenance budget line being funded by government at the school level. Now, the government, as part of its education reform, has decentralization as a key strategy or focus area. And my understanding of decentralized education management is that you are devolving responsibility over decision-making and authority and resources so that the center will rather coordinate compliance, and all that. But we have a situation where our schools are not being given budgets to maintain, broken down, to fund their maintenance budget lines. And so when you have a continuous centralization of maintenance, for example, having a centralized approach to painting schools, it becomes a bit worrying. Yes, it is good to have schools painted, but can we empower our schools? Can we fund budget lines for maintenance? And also, can we give our schools the power to determine which aspects of maintenance to prioritize using those budgets? Because in school A, including the school on the screen now, if they had a maintenance budget, I'm sure their priority would have been to procure desks or get some school walls or a proper pavilion waiting for a convenient school building before they would think about painting. Another school, their priority would be to use maintenance budget lines to fix broken doors, broken windows, so that people will not come into the school and come and do what they want there when school is not in session. Another school would prefer to use their maintenance budget line to paint their school because painting would be their immediate need. If we are able to devolve education as envisioned in the government's own education reform agenda, our schools should take control of their maintenance budgets and also maintenance priorities, such that if painting is the most pressing maintenance need, the school, in collaboration with the school management committee and parents, will decide to do so. I think if we begin to decentralize a budget for maintenance and decentralize maintenance and fund these lines, our schools will have a system where, our basic schools will have a system where continuously issues of painting, issues of fixing doors, broken windows, and all that will be catered for in a maintenance, budget, so that the Ghana Education Service in Accra, the ministry, will only provide the necessary oversight and compliance to ensure that as you are painting, you are using the right colors. As you are, fixing windows, fixing doors, you are doing it in line with the minimum quality standards expected of schools. I think that should be the end game for the painting. In respect of the color that I've seen being communicated, I'm not too sure. I've heard about white and blue. Perhaps, if indeed that is the color decided, it will be also important for the ministry to communicate on why the switch from those to those colors. I'm asking that question because the current colors, the cream and then brown, the benefits, I don't know why those colors were chosen, right? We're choosing, but having worked in the communities for 12 years, one benefit of this color is that it can last for 5 or 10 years without painting, and the school will not be too dirty because the color doesn't attract dirt so easily. And of course, we know we don't have funds to regularly maintain our schools. And we know that our most pressing maintenance need for school infrastructure is not painting. We are talking about desks and the lack of decent school buildings in over 5,000 schools, many of whom exist under trees and sheds. But the issue is that the new color we are moving to, as I've seen, is light blue and white. If that is the case, as communicated, if that is what the ministry intends to do, then we want to know the relative advantage of the new color over the current one. Because from where I sit, I see the white color to be amenable to debt very easily. And in a country where the maintenance culture is not there, the budget line is not there, the budget is not there, a white school, a light blue and white school building will be very, very dirty, within this quarter compared to the cream and then the brown color. So we need more information about why those colors. And if the decision is not cast in stone, as the PRO made us to believe this morning on Joy FM, I will be happy if we consider a color that hardly gets dirty, because we haven't demonstrated enough capacity to provide funding to paint schools in good time, so that our schools, do not look very dirty within a short time. White is very, very amenable to debt, and we all know that.
All right. Okay, Kofi, thanks for speaking with us. It's a running issue. I'm sure that we'll get back to it and discuss a lot more, especially focus on what ought to be our priority if we are talking about transforming basic education. I'm sure we'll have that conversation next week. Thanks a lot for your time. Right. So that was EduWatch also expressing their views on the issue. Yes.
So the announcement has been made about introducing new uniforms and painting the primary school classrooms.
Changing the color.
Yeah, changing the color. Now, many people will tell you that these are not priorities at this time. So the ministry would have to go ahead to talk about some of the other things that are more pressing in terms of raising the quality of primary education.
But as we speak currently, for basic education, the schools under trees tops 5,000.
Even beyond the schools under trees, the state of existing schools.
Yes. Provision of textbooks.
Textbook, furniture, even locks, door locks, computer facilities.
Yes.
These days, the way forward is digitalization. And so every primary school should be equipped with a computer lab, with Wi-Fi, broadband, and so on. So there are many priorities that will go directly to the quality. Uniforms may not be, of course. I've never seen any school which says they are doing well because of their uniforms. But they do well because of the tools that they have. So the ministry, I'm sure this is part of a program, and the ministry will have to go beyond this one to tell the country about some of the other things that have been done to equip teachers and students, motivation, and so on. But as a standalone, uniform and painting, you will find that many people may not see that as...
How issues about uniform and painting, changing uniform and changing painting, will find expression in transforming basic education at this time beats my imagination. When we can all see what the issues are.
So the ministry should go beyond that and let us know what the full program is. Transforming the... Leaving it alone like this might sound...
You wonder what is happening to officials in this Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government.
Why?
What they take us for, how they conceptualize
the minister says projects. It's part of many transformational initiatives.
So list the many and give us your order of priorities. You don't tell us that you are going to engage in changing of colors when we know the state of basic education. I have here today a number of Parliament's Education Committee reports. In 2017, when this government came to power, the Minister of Education met the Education Committee on the 22nd of March 2017, when they were considering the budget estimates for 2017. This government told the Education Committee that they have conducted an exercise on the state of basic schools in Ghana. And Doc, listen to this. They report at page 10 of this committee's report, which was adopted by the House, by plenary, that there are 8,252 basic schools in deplorable state and require rehabilitation. 8,252.
So this is minus the 5,000 under trees.
Yes, and this is minus the 5,000 school under trees, out of which the Professor Nana Genopoku and an era eliminated about 2,000. So you have another 8,252 of our basic schools in deplorable condition. The minister ought to be telling Ghanaians what has happened to this. I have checked all the Education Committee reports. I have copies here. They have not reported. They have not presented to Parliament progress report on how these 8,252 deplorable schools, only God knows how they look now after many years of having been abandoned. And we are all in Ghana. We see the state of our basic schools. Are they going to be painting schools under trees? Deplorable schools? How can this become a priority? Another procurement gig. That's all what is going on. The second term of the president is coming to an end. What can we dream of? Quickly go to procurement, because I've gone through even their projects submitted to Parliament for 2024. This does not feature. So where is this coming from?
But you know, this is not fair.
I'm not done.
Hold on. Randy, this is not fair. You're saying that the measures that have been announced are just a procurement gig.
Yes.
That's not fair. Procurement hasn't even started. Now, the more reason why it is not fair is that the things that you are proposing as priority, which I'm sure is also priority to the ministry, because Randy said that there's a lot of measures. But the things that you are professing, wouldn't they also involve procurement? Would also involve procurement. So what is this?
Doc,
do your points and stop the propaganda.
Come with me to look.
Do your points.
Look, we are outraged. Though. We are not going to take this. You people
but
this
that's why I should
because
cut the
you
propaganda.
have no respect for us. You think that you can just take our public funds and use it for just any useless idea that comes to the minds of people. We are not going to accept it. And you can't come to Parliament.
Say so. But
You can't come to Parliament.
Whatever you say,
tell us about what you are going to do in the year 2024. And then you come up with entirely different things.
What different thing?
This painting and changing of uniforms.
So you disagree?
They should show us.
So you disagree it's a priority? You disagree?
I'm outraged by
but
it.
Don't say that it's because of procurement.
That has
because
been
that
is the reputation of your government.
Samuel Kujeto. You can make your points.
Let me Nana stop there. Stop the interjection. I'm speaking to facts, to documents. Parliamentary documents.
That's in procurement facts.
So the 8,252 deplorable schools, you should be telling us what you've done about it. That's what you should be telling us. What have you done to these 8,252?
But
you came to Parliament and told us.
Let me tell you.
That after your assessment of basic education in Ghana, there are 8,252 schools in deplorable condition.
Transforming these 8,000 schools would involve procurement.
Yes.
So you can make your point without the propaganda. That's all.
Sammy, go on.
Doc,
yes.
I also hold in my hand the 2024 report of the Committee on Education on the 2024 annual budget estimates of the Ministry of Education. These are the observations of the committee. Paragraph 9.6, page 13. Delay in disbursement of capitation grants to basic schools. The committee observed delays in the disbursement of the capitation grant to various basic schools in the country. The committee noted that out of an amount of 22.5 million allocated for capitation grant in 2023, as of September, only 4.1 million has been released, representing 18.2%. 18.2%. This is the current state of our education. Capitation grant, only 18.2%. And you know why I went for these education committee reports? After Professor Nana Jenopoku-Agyemang's speech, they told their communicators to be talking about arrears that she left. And a good number of the communicators were kind to forward the speaking points to us. So you notice that all of them have been going all over the place talking about arrears. I thought that
we haven't spoken about arrears today, have we?
No, but those who even came here yesterday previously, they were all of them talking about Professor Nana Jenopoku-Agyemang arrears. They forgot to ask the people who sent them the speaking points, what is the current state? What are the current arrears? Capitation grant, you have paid only 18.2%. And you say you are going to be painting deplorable schools. That is not all. Come with me to page 12 of this report. Provision of basic school textbooks and payment of publishers. Again, this is the Education Committee's report. The committee observed that 9.5 million basic school textbooks and 273,075 teachers' guide have been supplied to basic schools in 2023, noting that about 6.5 million students in basic schools have full complement of these basic textbooks. While the committee commended the ministry for the distribution of the books and teaching materials, the committee drew attention to the fact that majority of schools have still not received the full complement of these basic books. Majority of schools. Education Committee report, adopted by the House. Majority of schools have not received their books and urged the ministry to address the indebtedness to publishers of the books. So in addition of majority of schools not receiving the textbooks, you owe publishers. The committee continues. The committee observed that the indebtedness to the publishers has crippled the operations of the publishers, as only 20% of monies owed them have been paid. Only 20%. That is the state of basic education. Publishers have not been paid. Majority of schools don't have textbooks. 2024 report. And you owe the publishers 80% of what they have supplied. I continue. Page 13, paragraph 9.5 of the report. Payment of utility bills of senior high schools. The committee observed complaints raised by management of public senior high schools about the delay in payments of utility bills by the ministry. As a result, many of the schools have suffered power cuts affecting teaching and learning in the schools. You can't even pay utilities. You say you are going to paint deplorable schools. What do you take us for? What at all do these people take us for? What crimes have we committed? I am not done. Page 15 of the 2024 Education Committee report of Parliament. Outstanding examination fees. The committee observed that the ministry owes WAEC an amount of 129,839,220 Ghana cedis as outstanding examination fees for 2022, 2 years ago. 2022. According to the council, the debt has severely hampered the operations of the examination body.
Okay.
And this is your priority,
Okay.
to go and be painting deplorable schools. And you say we shouldn't be angry, we shouldn't be outraged. What do they take us
Has
for?
he told you not to be outraged?
Look, free SHS, because of time.
Who has told him not to be outraged?
Doc,
Yes.
free SHS, consistently. This is the 2023 Parliament Education Committee report. Consistently, the committee is observing releases to free SHS. Out of the 2.29 billion, only 1.3 billion has been released, representing 59.8% of the total amount. And you take all the Education Committee reports, which I brought here. Free SHS is collapsing. That is why the quality of food is horrible. And we are totally
We need to do this.
causing mass
I think you've
more nutrition.
We need to do this before.
You
we
know,
go. There's
no,
something
no,
we need to do. Yes.
You're becoming tired.
No,
Yes.
I wanted to quickly respond to some of the things he said.
In 5 minutes.
Yes, very
5
quickly,
minutes,
very quickly.
There's something which is about
Even the spellbound speech.
it's about our collective future. Nana could be exempted from it, but for
Okay.
you and I and millions of Ghanaians, it could be terrible. SNIT, pensions.
So, Doc, let me caution the Minister for Education that we will not support. We've discussed this as a caucus. We will not support this.
Okay.
And they should not go ahead in his own interest. They shouldn't. They should address these arrears in the sector. And those who are going around thinking they can beat Professor Nana J. on arrears, and even that, they are not factual. I will advise them to go and read the 2017 report of the Education Committee about how NAPO came to Parliament and provided the accurate record.
I'm sure there'll be time for that. Don't worry.
No. It's let me just. I'm using my 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Using my 5 minutes.
Okay.
Page 4 of the 2017 Education Committee's report. The releases of capitation grant for all the terms 2015-2016 academic year to 5.6 million pupils is here. Confirmed. So that thing they are circulating, 2014, she didn't pay capitation grant. Meanwhile, as they are talking about arrears, they do not talk about the money that she negotiated and left behind.
Which money?
Millions of dollars in various accounts. Do you know that she negotiated for the funding for the Eastern University, what is called the University of Environment and Sustainable Development?
Okay.
President Mahama cut the sword in this. That was one of the last things he did after the election, before he handed over. 45 million euros. They don't talk about that.
Okay.
The Codvet account, she left $25 million in the Codvet account. Why are they silent on that? SIP, the Secondary Education Improvement Project, $156 million. She used only $83 million. More than $70 million left. And they got another $50 million because the World Bank said she had executed the project so well. They gave Ghana bonus, extra $50 million. Why are they not talking about that?
But how come all of this is there and then she didn't make any impact in the elections?
Look,
Both 2016.
talking about impact in elections, Doc.
2016, she wasn't on the ticket.
Doc,
No, her work,
Doc.
all this work is 2016.
impact in elections.
Then you were in your elements, so
Doc.
people didn't listen to her.
Doc, impact to elections.
They actually said it's Judgêmênt.
Let us speak.
That's why you were,
Let
you were
us-
promising us things.
Let us speak to facts.
Yes.
Let us speak to facts,
Right.
and let us speak to data.
Right.
If you look at the NDC's output in the 2020 elections.
Yes.
The NDC overall halved. We came from almost a million vote deficit to about 500,000. That's significant in just one round of an election. If you look at what the John and Jane ticket achieved with the parliamentaries, it's never happened in the history of our country. If you look at the data, every ruling party going into a second term widens its parliamentary majority. Check. From 2004. Every party, once you are going into a second term, the parliamentary majority is widening. This is the first time that the John and Jane ticket made tremendous gains, and even as we speak, we have a hung parliament. Unprecedented. Take her home region. Nana Akomea was talking at the central region. She moved the presidential votes from 43% to 45%. 2 percentage points. Look at the parliamentary elections. From 4 seats to 13 seats. Just one election. I mean, I don't recall the last time there was such a major swoop of parliamentary seats. So, again, the claim that she did not make an impact is not supported by the data. The empirical evidence is very, very clear. Let me finally say that I really like the way Nana Akomea is calling the bluff. And it clearly points to how the Akufo-Addo government, Nana Akomea's collaborators, how their mindset is. And that is why they have been plundering this country with impunity. Because they say, oh, what can they do? 2008, they said it, nothing happened. They forget that in 2009, Professor Mills said that, look, I'm father for all, let's try and, let's
tell you that 2025 will not be 2009.
Yes. So you know what Professor Mills did? Professor Mills said, look, instead of really going after them in the court prosecution, let's retrieve the loot. Many people forget, and particularly the young ones, forget that what you see today at airport as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration had been shared amongst cabinet ministers.
And also Nana Akomea.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't call Nana Akomea to the party, They
didn't join.
Massive land looting. Professor Mills retrieved all of them. We will not have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration at Airport Residential, that land. They had shared it among themselves. So even though we didn't have prosecutions, because Professor Mills said, look, further forward, and that is why this agreement is so important. That's why many people are excited. Because Ghanaians are saying that we don't want you to come and do that 2009 further for all. We hope that you are not coming with that, oh, let's just see what we can retrieve quietly and let people go scot-free. That is why this announcement, the public declaration that this matter has been discussed, we are not going back to the Professor Mills further for all. We are going to go all out. And exact accountability is being so roundly received by everybody. And that's why I'm so excited. So Nana Akomea can continue thinking that we are in 2009.
No, thank you for your...
You continue.
I have not stolen any money. So if you want to prosecute people you believe have stolen money, I will support you. I'm saying that your record is bad. And if you want to prosecute people who stole money, it's not now that you're going to sit in agreement. That's what we expect of you, any political party. Now, 2 things. I've said that Electoral, Professor Judgêmệnt didn't bring much. Samuel Kujato is telling her that she brought constituencies all over the country. I don't know. I'm looking at her home region.
Yes.
Because you must be able to deliver your home region. That's my criteria.
And she did.
Her home region, she couldn't deliver the presidency to John Mahama.
She increased the vote.
That's one. Number 2, this business about Professor Mills taking a decision not to prosecute is not true. You know it. So what happened when you stop international flights and haul people from the flight to face prosecution? Under Professor Mills. What happened when the Minister for Foreign Affairs was tried for 6 months over rice under Professor Mills? So it is not true. Coming to tell us that people were not prosecuted because Professor Mills didn't want to prosecute. apart from it being an indictment of Professor Mills, it's even not true. Your noise doesn't match your action. If you say you have turned a new leaf, tell us that, oh, we've turned a new leaf.
That's what has been announced by Professor.
Now we have been told that what Jane Nana Pukwa is bringing to the table is that she's going to prosecute public officials. Fine. We take it.
Nana?
We are charmed by it.
Nana,
okay.
I'm sure Senate has taken you off you're on pension now.
Listen, I saw the
report.
The reports. Yeah. You know, there's this actuarial yes. means for insurance forecasting.
Yes.
And I think it's the ILO.
International Labour Organization.
Yes, they do these studies every 3 years.
Yes.
And every time they do the study, their report is that the way we handle pension funds in this country is not going to be sustainable in the next 10 years, 15 years, and so on. And the basic thing they identify has largely been through government action.
Yes. As for this one, they say we'll get to zero.
Either governments over the period plunder SNIT funds, or government doesn't pay, or even if government pay, doesn't pay on time, and then they don't pay interest.
Yes. Penalty and interest.
So this governmental action over the period, if it continues, in terms of the investment profiling, the pension funds are going to run out.
You see, by 2036, it will be zero.
Now, on the SNIT board, you have government representatives, but more especially, you have labor representatives.
Yes.
And so, I mean, if a company like Metro TV, you are not up to your SNIT payments, they will come hard after you.
The right to us.
But how much do they owe you? But government, which is the bulk employer, over the years, we all read about how SNIT funds were plundered. Anytime government was in trouble, it went to SNIT funds. They go and take money for student loans, go and take money to borrow money to do roads, go and do all kinds of stuff. And then you also don't pay. Government alone has about 3 million people on SNIT that they should be paying. It doesn't pay. And if it continues...
Government owes 10 billion.
10 billion?
Billion. And also in interest and penalty payments, that's about 20 billion.
So SNIT should really use these reports and find a way.
I'm surprised Labour is quiet.
But that's
because if the thing suggests that by 2036 will be zero, that's in 12 years. In 12 years.
So,
because I've got look, let me just read this. This is one of our views. As a pensioner, my concern this morning is that the SNIT's pension scheme can't pay my benefits from 2036. Already, there are signs. 2 months ago, we were paid on the 21st and last month, 18th, down from 14th and 15th in the past. Workers have enjoyed pay increments between 20 and over 30%, but the highest pensioners enjoyed was a paltry 19% last year and 10% in the past. It's not surprising. Okay, so it goes on. It says, with this news, the scheme is in danger, especially the drive to register new people, most importantly, those in the informal sector.
Well, so they are seeking new funds. But the fundamental issue has been the government. Now, like I said, there are reps of labor on the SNIT board. But beyond that, Parliament, maybe, I don't know which committee.
There is one which is employment.
Yes.
That's Dr. Kwabena Donko's committee.
Yes.
But he's not a chairman.
He's the ranking.
I think they should take advantage of this report and engage all the parties, government, labor, SNIT, and find a way out. This report should be, and these reports have been coming every 3 years, and it's always the same, that it's not sustainable.
Right. Simon?
It's like almost like a Ponzi. You are paying people with new money. If the new monies are not coming, you can pay. And we've burdened SNIT so much. There's loans, student loans, this and that. Government borrows money, we go and pay. All kinds of things without looking at the investment potential.
Right. Yes, sir.
Doc, this is a very worrying report, and we are all being deducted from our salaries with the hope that we will have comfortable retirements. Those of us who even manage to go the extra mile and put something aside in various government bonds, as we speak, that is also not guaranteed. Thanks to the mismanagement of the economy, the Akufo-Addo government has done what they call compulsory financial haircuts, and they don't care. Even if you are bad like me, they will force you to take a haircut. And because of that, pensioners cannot even have access to their life savings. Pensioner bonds have been taken away. I don't know why they even call it a haircut. You know, it's virtually government stealing from the people, taking away the people's money. So that one has already been jeopardized. You can't have your fair earnings. And we've seen how pensioners have had to go picket at the Ministry of Finance. Very sad sights, heart-wrenching sights. Last time we saw the lady who has earned the enviable accolade of being the Yasanto of our time, former Chief Justice of Akufo, joining her colleagues. That is not the kind of retirement that you wish for our fathers and our mothers, that they can't even retire in peace and enjoy their life earnings. Now, the only one left is also in jeopardy. We are not guaranteed pensions. Doc, in addition to this report, I have also heard all the teacher unions say that their Tier 2 pensions have not been paid since June 2023. Can you believe that? So they actually gave government an ultimatum which ends today for government to pay their Tier 2 pensions. So, I mean, what is happening? Under Nana Akufo-Addo, no matter your age, you are not safe. If you are a baby, childhood vaccine, Bobo. The last time is the Nigerians who had to bail us out. If I didn't expose that, they will have been, as usual, trying to, deceive everybody. I don't know.
Would have been on the tracker.
Yeah, you'll have been on the tracker. The childhood vaccine you went to borrow, beg the Nigerians because our babies were dying. Yes. It's never happened in our history. We always took it for granted. Only under the Akufo-Addo government, even childhood vaccine. So if you're a baby, you are in trouble. If you're a young person, unemployment rate is at an all-time high, 14.7%. You graduate from school, 4 years, 5 years, you are still at home. You can't get jobs. Now you are old, you have struggled through all of this. That one too, you can't get your pension. SNET is collapsing. Tier 2, they won't pay. If you are smarter, you are in the middle class, you put some money aside. That one too, they've taken it. So what do we do? What do we do? It's just left with those in the grave. In the grave, they'll start going after them. I mean, why?
Well, you need a new. If you need a new person, Baumia is your man.
Oh, please.
All right, we need to go, but let me say a big happy birthday to you, Kukwa.
If you need a new person,
what crime did
Kukwa Kwanzaa of the Ebenezer Methodist Church, Lashibi Committee 20. Happy birthday to you, Kukwa Kwanzaa. This is from Sheila Odoe Dankwa. We wish you the very, very best, Kukwa Kwanzaa. Happy birthday to you. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Amena PENDREAM TV ase. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.